You guys ready for some sports?
No, it's a holiday.
Holiday or not, here comes some sports. We tell you to dress appropriately. Sports bras and jock straps on everybody. That's the way we do it here. Victor Allen's New Sports, a recurring segment of the Morning Club with Mario show. Here every week. Brought to you by the bald-headed black man, rub his head and make a wish. The man that the ladies have nicknamed Sexual Chocolate. It's Vic! It's Sportz! Yeah!
I'm glad you feel that way. First of all, if anybody's smart, if this is a holiday, they shouldn't be watching this show. Number two, it's the Olympics. They're going to watch that first. Number three, if you can't get over the Trump fascination, they're going to watch that next. And then we may come in the second or third tier. Just want to let everybody know, because the sports is already done. So watch this. Watch this. Name what sporting event you watched from beginning to end over this weekend.
From beginning to end?
Yes.
None. I watched a bunch of them, though. The snowboard. See, I don't even know what the event is. Super long, 10-story runway on a snowboard.
Yeah.
They said it was equivalent to 10 stories.
Yes.
To a jump to the snowboard.
Right.
To do tricks. That was some awesome shit, but I can't say I watched it from beginning to end.
No, I know
you know, like I said, I'm one of the people, I can't even name the events in the Winter Olympics.
Hey.
Luge, that's the only one I can name. And curling. That's two. I guess I'm doing all right.
Ice skating?
Luge and curling. Okay, ice skating.
See, that's what I'm saying.
Well, what, just regular speed skating?
Oh, speed skating's off the chain.
Yeah,
man.
then they had
that's
figure skating.
That most people.
Well, why is that?
You know what?
It's kind of biased, dude.
Look,
not being short.
You know what? No. You know what? You know what I'm saying?
The sensitive side.
Every sport has had something where it evolves and a little bit. Yeah, I just can't. You know, I can't. It's hard. I know it's one of the most popular events. For the USA, it's like the hockey, getting behind the hockey. But when the hockey is not winning, nobody paid attention to the USA, right? Everybody's like, oh, so you're not supporting them now. So the hockey team gets thrashed by the athletes from Russia. Nobody's talking about them. But see, now we're talking. And I'm not going to even jump off into it, but I'll just say this. Pyeongchang, I know people are disappointed because I'm saying this. A few things is happening in the what I call the figure skating. I'll say figure skating. You know what's happening with the USA more than that? They're losing based on expectations. Malfunctions in attire. It's become the theme. So I'm trying to get to wait a minute. It's been going on for years. Why are we having more on this particular? Are they getting a little bit?
Look.
No, man. They trying to.
They're
trying to bring it.
I'd have to see a trend. One time you have
No, it's a few.
They just be bad luck.
It's a few that's happening.
Statistical abnormality.
Right. So first of all, I'm not going to slam any athlete that goes see Olympics. I think just getting there is phenomenal. So I don't get to those expectations like what happened. The USA is not doing it. You know, hey, look, Lindsey Vonn, Schifrin, Chen, all of you guys did well. I'm not going to slam on you because you can't have it your way until you watch a country like Ukraine get its first medal, period, in the Winter Olympics. You go,
well, the country didn't exist.
It did. It existed. It's
they got medals in something else.
Yes, but
being part of the Soviet Union.
For this one, but what I'm saying is
they're for at least the time being,
right? You know,
independent country. Who knows what Putin wants?
Well, look, do you feel you're part of Arizona?
No.
See, it doesn't matter if the borderline is there and they say, well, you're part of the United States. Arizona, you guys all
There's a bunch of places I don't feel a part of. Right. Florida's one.
See, that's what I'm saying.
There's a bunch of them.
So the Ukraine is to watch them sit back and go, one medal. So respects to everyone. But let me go to the person or the people or the group or the community that needs to get recognition. Cross-country competition. I think it's just ridiculously hard because
cross country's hard no matter what way you do it. Right?
Man,
you run to the beach and then you start to train. Something's insane. It's like torture. You got to be like a.
Let me just say this: let me just sit back and go bow down to Norway. They not only all their medals are coming.
That's a visual.
All their medals are coming in cross country, skiing, the competition mostly, and maybe some ski jumping as well. But they are dominating now.
Well, that's good. So they have that and fish.
You know what? What are you trying to do? Sprinkle?
No, they have a higher standard of living now.
Look, I agree.
I like the Norwegians.
No. Look, out of all the performing
they can
countries,
win something. What's wrong with other folks winning?
Just saying, man. I like it, but I'm gonna get to another point. I want to bow down and give respect because it ain't over yet. Because Germany is banging too. They're banging as it relates to the medal count. We'll get that in a second, man. But I'm gonna go over to what you were talking about because I truly believe this is going to be a story that's going to come up because the kids or the youth or the young men and the young ladies are going higher and higher and higher. It's not just the snowboarding and the ski jumps or the snowboard jumps, how high they're going. No big deal when I forgot where the athlete came from, which country. He may have been Austria. Last week he broke his neck.
Oh, yes.
All right. But the prognosis is good.
Yeah. I mean, a broke neck just means a fracture.
Right. It means a fracture. Now, watch this. I'm just saying this. He's not from the USA, of course, so it doesn't have the same sphere of influence.
He may have better insurance.
Wait a minute. What are you trying to say with it? Let's leave that alone. That's politics, man. We stay in the way.
Oh, excuse me.
So wait a minute.
Get some care.
So we already are talking about sports that are going to eventually have to change the game as it relates to what they do with boxing, MMA, UFC, football. Everybody's protecting themselves and saying, look, it's too violent. Do you see what I see when they're jumping and they're the flips and everything, and you're going like this? You know it's going to come where somebody's not going to land on their feet. And when the guy hit, and I saw where he hit, I said, anybody looking at this and going, well, is it going to be a trend that they're going to start rebelling against this, or is it going to get even more popular?
Yeah, because it doesn't happen. Okay, the events like this happen because they're non-Olympic things in the beginning.
I know that.
They're trends that start in society that become really popular based on a fan base. So snowboarding came out of no place. First of all, you have the people still competing. I think Shaun White was one of the originals who even designed.
Right.
First created and designed snowboards.
Okay.
So it didn't exist. So these types of events that came out of pure popularity from the street.
Oh, well, we know.
So I don't know. In other words, that's the way they got to be Olympic events. Even if you ban them from Olympic competition,
they're going to still do it.
They'll still be doing it in every ski resort that you have. I don't know if you could ban you could make rules on the restrictions of how high.
Only 3 stories, not 5.
Something like but. I don't know, babe, because to me the luge is crazy.
I can deal with the luge.
They're going like 90 miles an hour.
I can deal with the luge.
Oh shit, no! I can't.
Yes.
90 miles an hour on a sled. I can't do 90 miles an hour on a bike.
Wait a minute.
I can't even see 60 miles an hour.
So can you do a triple?
No, I can't do a single. I can do one of those Wide World of Sports great crashes where the guy bounces.
Wait a minute.
Look at that old dude bounce down the hill.
Okay. A ski jump looks tame now, doesn't it?
Depends who you are.
Okay. Can you handle
10 stories don't look
looking down?
I looked at that thing and said, "Shit."
Wait a minute.
Shit.
And they're going
How do you work up to 10 stories?
They're going to length plus a football field. They go beyond. So let me just say this:
I can't do
which one out of the 3?
I can't do it.
Snowboarding, the half pipe. No, the whole thing. The whole super G. You call it. Right. Luge, ski jump. Which one? Which one would you do first? If you had to have a choice.
I'm not doing luge at all. What's the other one?
Well, you got the half pipe,
What's the half pipe?
Well, okay, forget about it. I
can't do none of those 10-story things. I can do figure skating.
Done.
You know what I can do really good? I can do curling.
That's one of the most boring sports in the Winter Olympics.
It's a skill
You know what? Let me say this. My first suggestion. Everybody's going to say, "Here's ignorant Vic." I said there should be speed curling.
It's like shuffleboard.
Notice you're the one who said shuffleboard.
Remember, people love shuffleboard.
What year?
Every cruise ship.
What year did that?
Every cruise ship has shuffleboard.
So wait. I believe
if you've
in
been on a Princess cruise, you saw shuffleboard.
Curling. I believe that they have to go faster. And then once they get down there, they have a certain amount of time where they go like, you have now 10 seconds.
When you're laying on your stomach, you want to go slow.
It's too slow, man.
I'm telling you, no matter what it is. When you're laying on your stomach, you want to go slow.
Hey, curling on steroids, man.
It's all you're going to do is get your face in something.
All right, so let me go on over there. All right, let me take you down to, okay, not knocking, but everybody was hoping she would do something, right? Lindsey Vonn, not only getting the social media backlash.
Tiger will take her soon, though.
No. That's done, man.
That's right.
That's done, man.
Maybe he'll reach out.
No. It's done. Look, the woman has done enough for us. She has to always stay on top.
This is for her
Why
anyway.
is it that you guys, not the ones that's saying, hey, look, it ain't me. It's the haters that's going like, oh, she let you down. Your ass don't even speak.
Let anybody
down. No. They're getting her because first they're going to strip away how she's doing her social media and how she's talking. I said, oh, let me just say this. So if you're a ski jumper or anyone like that, you have to do this normalcy of how you communicate. You always have to be neutral, always have to be safe and political. But when you go watch MMA and boxing, they talk their ass off. Nobody complains about that. They actually love it. They say, yeah, talk shit. The more you talk shit, the better it is. So if she sits up there and says something with an attitude, all of a sudden, ooh, everybody gets all up in a roar. Get out of the suit.
That's true.
She did a good job, man. You know, give her props.
We don't want our priests or rabbis.
There you go, man. There you go.
Speak with
all right.
Slang and profanity.
Now, let me just say this. A lot of fourth places by the Americans. So they've already...
Wonderful.
No. And what they're doing is comparing this in the last two Winter Olympics, this is the worst showing.
You're better in the summer.
I'm just letting it go. Hey, we can't stay up there all the time. But if you want to see the actual medal count right now, because I was watching to see if there was going to be any impact, there's none. Right now, Norway still at 26. Probably more now since I haven't updated in a few hours. Germany at 18. If you want to go see it more, you can scroll down. You can actually see Canada, our neighbor, is going like, "What's up, USA? Where you at?" They're at 16. Netherlands, 13. The Olympic athletes of Russia. Now, notice what they say. This is their way of going. Russia is not going to be officially in until the doping stuff goes away and they pay their penalties. But there are certain athletes who are not, guilty of abuse and doping. They get to still be called Olympic athletes of Russia. So they're doing a little bit better.
No.
So I'm just saying, man. Right. I got to give them props. Don't penalize everyone, man. Look, how many sports do we have doping in it and how abusive was it in the last, say, 10, 15, 20 years?
Only dopes use dope.
All right, so everybody does.
Only dopes.
There we go.
I myself, my body's a temple.
Yeah, right.
Therefore.
Okay. All right. Just want to give you an update. I didn't show everything. I'm just kind of shocked at some of the countries not performing as well as I thought. And the USA is going to do okay. So that's cool. And we got another week, several days. I'm not sure if it's a week and a half or so, maybe short of a week, to watch to see if they can get some more medals. In the meantime, NBA weekend, All-Star LA. They're already saying it's no place like LA. Even LeBron, he may have been just putting it out there, but what other city would you want to hold it in regularly?
Respond. You already spent $50,000.
No, it's okay. It's worth it. I tell you what. If all of a sudden they get him and he says, just stick it in their face, I'll pay the 100 G's. Magic will do it. So that's nobody's caring about that right now. So let me just say this. You watch beginning to end of any of the NBA All-Star Weekend events.
I watched the dunk. I always like to watch the dunk.
Okay, so you watched that one. The beginning and to the end.
Well, I don't know about beginning to end.
It's only 4.
It's the whole thing. What is this? A test of continuity?
I want to be able to pose. I got to pose the right question. I don't want a general opinion. I'd rather have a specific thing. So let me just say this: which of the athletes you didn't see dunk?
I saw all of these dunk.
It's only 4, so you watched it all.
Well, most of it.
Okay, so I got
Larry Nance there with his father.
You said you watched most of it. Did you catch the beginning or you turned it away at the end?
I don't remember.
This is what I'm saying. It's important.
It could be.
Okay. Did it go to your expectations?
I didn't have any expectations.
None whatsoever.
No, not for a dunk championship. I would have no idea. I'm usually amazed at who dunks and who doesn't.
Yeah.
Because it's not often the people who are, in other words, there's many times people who are not normally known for being big scorers in games.
Right.
Do well in dunking things.
True.
You know, and some of them also are notoriously poor in other areas. Like sometimes you have people who do wonderful in dunking but have zero defense when it comes to regular games during the year. So this gets to be a point of expertise.
True.
In terms of doing almost tricks and stuff for many people.
Right.
And I must admit, I love the way they changed up the judging, Vic, that they had a mixture of judges. They had Julius Erving. They had, I think it was Lisa Leslie.
Yeah.
They had Chris Rocks and
Khalid, DJ.
Khalid, yeah.
And here's
that was kind of cool.
I like this. Now, here's my suggestion to add on to that, because I do believe that there's the group that's of a certain age, but I believe they should have a group of 5 judges, and the age range should be like 12 to 15-year-olds only on the other side.
That would be interesting
to see if they're see the same thing, because I truly believe
you might have to take it a little older, because then you could pull the people for social media. 17, 18.
Hey, but kids are so impacted at such a younger age.
Teenagers. Let's just say teenagers.
Yeah, I really don't want them. I'm trying to stay away from those who are already on the cusp of going, I'm about to play in college. They're already there. I like when all of a sudden you get those kids that go like, well, what I seen is not what you saw. I saw something different than what you did, and they may or may not give a score. And I'll be shocked to see a kid go like this, 3. We used to do this on Hot Picks. We used to sit there and go, Mario, it really is terrible if we vote any of the Hot Picks back in the day and give them a 2 or a 3. And we would laugh about it because it was entertaining. But the honesty from children is just, I think, is so entertaining, that whole point of it. So I'm just hoping that they add something to it, because the 5 judges, I think, is cool, but they tend to be in the same vein.
Well, I thought that was I thought it was diverse.
It was. It was.
By having that and having really 2 people that were in basketball, and only 2.
Okay.
But definitely one could go on and on about that.
What? All right, now here we go. Right person win the dunk contest?
Oh, I'm not the person.
Yeah. Did you like Larry Nance's dunk?
Yeah, I was, and it reminded me, because he's one of the people that I enjoyed as a Laker. Remember, I'm one of the ones to be convinced.
Right.
Yet still about the Lakers' moves. So this has already gone down in my book.
Right.
This one and Clarkson as moves. I don't know.
Yeah.
So there we go. But he did a wonderful job. I really appreciated what I saw of him.
Yeah.
And it reminded me of dunks I've seen him do during the game.
Right.
He gets in some dunks during the games too.
Yeah.
So I enjoyed him.
Yeah, I think
I enjoyed Donovan Mitchell.
Well, yeah,
he
won
was
it.
Wonderful.
Yeah, he won it.
Yeah.
Donovan won it, and understandably, I can see why. And Dennis Smith, everybody picked because they say, hey, look, he's one of those cats. Victor Oladipo, once he put on the Black Panther mask, I said, you better not miss, man. Don't put that mask on and you miss that first one. Once he missed that first one, I just said, okay, man, that's it. Because you're not supposed to do it. You make sure you get that first one off.
You know, this is more, all of these events to me, first of all, all of these events and the nature and tone is not so much athletic or competition as it is more hype to me.
Yeah.
So it's hard to take any of the competitive aspects really seriously to me, because it has so much hype. Even the way the judging is going to be all over the place.
Right.
I'm sure they have their own priorities, this and that.
Right.
So no matter who you get, it's staged like that. It's like the Pro Bowl,
but
better.
Right.
To me, because of the kind of ways they make it happen. So no, wonderful, but let's like to say, better watching to me than watching the skill sets from the Pro Bowl. I'm just saying.
Well, yeah, you're talking about football.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When you watch football, because the Pro Bowl is their attempt to do the same kind of a thing.
But
they changed it too. Chosen team, these different teams.
But they have the events. They have the dodgeball and all those other type of competition.
Well, I'm just saying, that's what I'm saying. They all have things they're adding to make it. It doesn't make any difference. I think that so far right now, for whatever reason, the NBA's comes out better for some reason.
Okay. Now, watch this one. 3-point competition, Devin Booker, he wins it. Phoenix Suns, straight shoot lights out. Didn't know he was as tall as I thought. I thought he was like 6'3", 6'4", but I think he's about 6'6", something like that. Skills challenge. Spencer Dinwiddie, Brooklyn Nets. He won. And then, of course, I think everybody was looking at Joel Embiid because to see the gracefulness and the power and the 3-point shooting and the skills challenge, they had him picked. And you got to see the big men do something that usually the small guards are doing. So I enjoyed that.
Yeah.
Now, with that being said, I looked at the skills challenge. More people were cheering for that in comparison to the 3-point competition because the 3-point competition is just one guy shooting at a time. It's different, if you have two guys and at opposite ends and you're showing them, but it's just one guy and they're just waiting to see if he starts off slow, if he starts off and then he may or may not do so well. If he's got low points and he's in his last group of baskets, they're not really cheering for anything. But on the skills challenge, you got to see the big men sit back and go like, yeah, you young guys, you can run down the court fast as you want to. We got skills in different areas and strengths. So I enjoyed that and I listened to the crowd. Now, that was my pick as the most enjoyable based on the crowd reaction. Then I got to Team LeBron versus Team Stephen. Thank God this format worked enough to change it from the last few years. I don't know if you watched the game, that it comes down to the last shot. Not sure if you watched at the very beginning of the game, they straight up came and started playing defense. I was going, whoa. So it changed up.
Yeah, even though, it's kind of hard not to mention that they changed the format of the game to the degree
they had to.
It's a whole different thing.
200 media outlets.
But the whole game, it's not it's not even an AFC. A regional South versus West, or one league.
It's like street ball.
No, it's just like they choose up their own team.
Right.
So and again, so that's my point. It has to do more to me with the kind of things that they're experimenting with.
But did you watch any of it? Did you like it?
I watched some of it.
Did you like it, or did you find it to go, well, you know what, I'm trying to separate the East from the West?
I think that it makes for, it makes for a more exciting product. I think my reservations only have to go with deciding what it is you want it to be.
Right.
In other words, when you say the All-Star, you have to decide what that's going to be. And what they've decided to make it into is a Hollywood-style promotional festival.
Right.
That's all I'm saying. There are those people who are going to question just that. There's almost nothing all-star competition. In other words, traditionally, all-stars or any kind of thing like that focused around specific achievement-oriented things. So now the emphasis is on a promotional type of branding product. Right. And I'm just saying that's a big difference. Whether people enjoy it or not, I would say, well, it's done to appeal to those elements specifically that are promotional. So it should appeal more to people who are, at least it makes branding sense to me, because the people who may have the other issues are older, and the younger groups, like you said, don't relate for those reasons, and therefore it makes sense. But that is just an observation of mine. Now you're promoting All-Star to mean Hollywood event, fun time, party, nothing related to actually the achievement of the sport, kind of.
Well, no sport is playing all out. We know that. Hockey,
well, I'm just saying all of them are changing because why? Remember, I'm just acknowledging the truth. That's why they changed. They changed because they had a lack of viewership because people weren't watching. Now, what they did to do that, like I said, is to make these kinds of changes. They all did. Right. I'm just acknowledging that that's what it was, and that's why it was done. Yeah. So whether or not it appeals in that way, then I go, this depends on, I don't know. I can tell, I say as an internet producer, it makes sense.
Well, I like what LeBron said. He said, look, scoring 190 points last year, people all over the world watching this, then just watching an offensive show and we're not even trying to compete with each other is sad, and we had to change this. And I like the idea that he addressed that and instead of saying we have to play some semblance of defense and make it competitive, because we are putting on a show for all these people to see the best players play, not just offense, but some defense. And that part I enjoyed. Now, where it goes from here.
It's a good idea, though, Vic. I'm with you because I think
it's cool to me.
Right, to me, it's more, okay. I didn't remember. It wasn't necessarily criticism as an observation.
Right.
The game itself makes more sense because one thing I will agree with is that the old way was boring back then.
Right.
I was bored back then with both football and basketball's versions of this.
Yeah.
By the way, baseball doesn't have a version of this.
They have All-Star game.
They have an All-Star game?
See, the bad thing about baseball is that they don't want to do anything but play the baseball, do the home run derby.
Okay, they do the home. That's right. I thought I remembered that.
So they do that, but see, they're keeping. They're really not.
I only remember their game.
Yeah, they're staying within the tradition of their framework. They're not trying to do anything extra. Not trying to put on any shows. Or
so
not
their
doing
numbers
anything.
got to be going down.
Yeah, they've already been losing, and they're not going to change. They're going to stay the way they are.
Well, they may have to change. In other words, I'm acknowledging the handwriting. It's not our world. The world of the sports consumer is changing, and they want something different. So the fact that all of them have to adjust, as far as I know, all of them are adjusting. The NFL, a lot too. NBA just seems to be doing, to me, a better job.
Yeah, they have. They definitely have. Okay, going down to this exit subject, I know probably many people didn't realize a little bit of history was made yesterday, but you have to be a fan of this particular sport because Bubba Wallace busting down racial barriers and making history. And if everybody knows I guess you can say the GOAT of racing, NASCAR, is Richard Petty. And his team, Petty Racing, has not been competitive for decades, although he is the GOAT. It is kind of like same as what Michael Jordan was going through when he first started, with the ownership of Charlotte Bobcats, greatest player of all time, but they're in mediocrity, but they're getting better now. Well, right now, this guy, Bubba, first, and I'll just read it right offhand. He did something on Sunday's Daytona 500 that no other NASCAR Cup Series rookie has. He came in second to Austin Dillon, who eventually won, and it was the highest finish by a freshman full-timer, but it was also the best finish ever by an African-American driver, breaking the mark set by Wendell Scott, 13th place in 1966. The 24-year-old Wallace.
Had to give it back.
Yeah. That's wonderful. A video game playing social media darling makes history as the first black driver since 1969 in the Daytona 500. Wallace, the son of a white father and a black mother, has openly talked of becoming the Tiger Woods of NASCAR. For Richard Petty, the one that they all look to embrace him, and I love what Richard, based on what Daryl said, he told me, he said, whatever you do, don't wreck the car. Because it's about the money. If anybody watched the Daytona 500, it was the car crash event. This is the first race of the year. It's the biggie that starts off the whole season. You're talking about eliminating cars. This was like, I was going like this. I said, you see these wipeouts? The idea that you have to survive. I mean, more than half the cars were wiped out on the field. Now, that being said, let me talk about the coverage real quick. I can't remember what channel. Was it Fox? I think it was Fox. I think it was on 11. Whatever. I'll renege on who I think it is and check it. Please, you guys, when they have these events, these cars, and they're doing crashes, and you guys cut away beforehand, and then you show the side by side, and you keep showing 8 commercials while the events and everything is going on. Cars are wrecking. It's caution signs. And you guys keep showing the commercials. I call the producer piss poor, and that's probably why your ratings are going down. Excuse me. I bet you any money if Trump was speaking, you guys would cut away from the commercial immediately.
Like
they did it multiple times. You know the timing was so bad? See, the bad part about it is they can monitor it while they do the side by side.
Idea.
Yeah, and when the crash is happening, you're literally trying to find out what has happened, and this commercial is still going. Their audio's up, and I'm sitting up here saying, so you know the reason why you guys are losing ratings. So your money is getting in the way, but I'm one of those people that went like this. I said, no, you guys. So you want to keep showing commercials, and then you kept showing more after. You did it a few times, and I said, bust it. I'm out. Thank you, Daryl, for winning. You kept my attention. Other than that, I would have turned away. So, hey, congratulations to Daryl Wallace. Got to give it full-time driver. I expect him to go a long way. I hope it works out. To come in second place, man, be happy with it. He was so excited, he didn't know what to do. His mom came up, hugs, tears. For him, he made a mark. He wasn't expected to win. I know that. But coming in second place, more than expected. Shout-outs. Sports, I'm done. Man, next time, y'all take it to another place. Please, take it to another place. Not with the commercials. Do anything. I couldn't take it, dude. I kept going like this.
That sounds so obnoxious. Oh, I didn't see that.
Yeah, that's okay, man. I'm done.
Victor Allen's New News Sports, recurring segment of the Morning Call with Mario show. You can get it here every week. Victor Allen's unique fan-based view of sports, written and directed by a bald-headed black man. Rub his head and make a wish. Remember, we tell you, dress appropriately. Sports bras and jock straps. Bring your own Lotrimin cream. That's right. New News Sports. Hot and heavy. Yeah. Come on now.